guys, it's me, your friend Felissa Rose, Angela from Sleepaway Camp, and you're listening to Kendall Hates Horror! Yeah.
Warning. Some viewers may find the following footage deeply disturbing. Welcome to my world, bitch. Kendall Hates Horror.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie.
I'm so fucking scared right now.
So, we watched a movie called The Menu on Netflix.
Bro,
Okay.
that movie rips.
Okay. Okay.
I watched this movie last week also.
Okay. Now, this podcast is called Kendall Hates Motherfucking Horror.
Yeah, it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Okay? Tell me why Netflix fucked the shit out of me and it says comedy on there.
It's a dark comedy.
Because it is a comedy.
It is not a fucking comedy.
It's
not funny.
hilarious, dude. It's
not
fucking
fucking
hilarious.
No way! I was like, okay, so
I
it's
agree with
weird.
you. It's
Okay, so
definitely
it's
not a-
weird as fuck. And Jamie's like, watch this with me. It has the girl from Queen's Gambit on there.
Yeah, it's
and
Anna
we watched
Taylor-Joy.
we
Yeah,
watched
Anna
that whole thing together, and I was like, I really like that girl. She's really good.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Great, I love
She's
her.
a scream queen.
She,
Yeah.
obvious. Well, she did an excellent job in
I
Queen's
love it.
Gambit.
I love Anna Taylor. She's so good.
So I'm like, all right, it says comedy, has her in it. Let's watch it. So it starts off really fucking weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, there might be a comedy element or two at the beginning because he kind of haphazardly says a fucking joke or whatever. I'm trying to find comedy elements in this.
Oh,
and
I
I'm
think
won't
I
find
think
it.
I think John Leguizamo is fucking hilarious in that movie. I think his assistant is hilarious. The stock bros are fucking funny. Yeah, there's a lot of parts in that movie that makes me.
You
like
watched it.
I've watched it. I've watched it like 10 times.
I watched
Okay.
and I watched it last week.
So we get to, they get to the island or whatever, and then the fucking restaurant's really weird, and I really liked how they, you know, they're clapping and all that shit, and he, you know, the chef comes out and they're all like real intense and shit, but when it got to the part where that dude, I'm gonna spoil this movie for people, but when he's like the mess, he's like that. Oh, he created this dish, and he fucking, he's kissing him and shit, and they're like, he's bawling. He's like, "Do you want your life to be like mine?" And he's like,
This,
No, chef.
no chef. And then he fucking just all of a sudden sticks a gun in his mouth and boom. And I'm like, this is not a fucking comedy. Fuck you, Netflix.
That scene.
What the fuck?
Well, that's also the scene that everything's off the rails when that happens.
Yeah.
because everybody knows that shit's going down now.
Explain comedy to that.
There are comedic elements.
No, there are not.
I'm going to agree with Kendall on this one. It's not a comedy.
It's not. They miss fucking labeled it.
They call it a dark comedy, but there was not a single point in that movie I was laughing.
But it doesn't say dark comedy. It just
also-
says comedy.
You also kind of have to understand food culture because that.
Oh no, I don't get food culture
Well,
either because that shit is stupid.
that's what they're making fun of.
I know,
Is
yeah.
foodies.
Yeah.
Because Nicholas Hoult
Is a foodie.
is the worst of all of them.
Yeah,
But he's a total dick.
That's why he's
And he literally brought her.
No,
anyway,
he
this is
literally-
not a The Menu podcast, so I'm going to leave it here.
Well, he knew
But-
that he's a piece of shit because he signed up him and his girlfriend knowing what was going to happen at the end. He knew that everyone was going to die.
That wasn't his girlfriend.
I know.
Yeah, she was.
I know. They broke up, so he brought a prostitute or a call girl.
Yeah.
Knowing full well that they were going to die.
Right. And that's why he said, that's why the chef says, you're not like the rest.
Right.
Yeah. And dude, like, I was like, after he put a gun in his mouth, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't really want to watch this anymore, but then I'm invested.
That scene is also talking about, like, I think it's more interesting if you understand, like, the mental health aspect of being in the food industry, especially at that high of a level. It's really toxic. I like the movie. I think it's really
it was good. I made it all the way through it.
Because I love the end. The end is awesome. How, like, she's like, make me a fucking cheeseburger.
Yeah, and it brings him back to the time that he enjoyed doing that the most.
No, that was kind of a
it's
callback.
her giving him an experience because that's what she does.
Yeah,
and I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
but I love the end where she's eating the cheeseburger
and watches the
watching
motherfucker burn.
Yeah, when we went to a Comic-Con,
does it come with fries?
Would you like them crinkle cut or julienne?
She chose the right one.
No, I'm not saying that the movie wasn't brilliant.
Yeah,
but I'm watching this whole motherfucker thinking it's supposed to be a comedy.
Yeah,
and they fucked me. Netflix fucked me into it.
I guess I found a lot of funny things in the movie. Personally, but I can understand maybe people not thinking it was comedy. But there's a lot of people like
it's not.
But there are also people like thinking like, well, why would they all just die? I'm like, it's a fucking cult, bro.
It's a cult.
It's a cult.
I think
they live in barracks.
Yeah, the scene where she's showing them like, oh well, here's the toilet. It's in the same room as all the beds where everybody else stays. And she even said that, sometimes they work until 12, 1 o'clock, and then they're up at 6 to prepare for dinner. That's a typical cult leader behavior of denying people sleep, denying people privacy, taking away what
when you take
makes
sleep away
them
from people, they start making
stupid decisions.
Don't set me up for a goddamn horror movie.
I get it.
Because I don't fucking like that.
Because it doesn't start off that way at all. It's like, oh, this is neat, and then
boom, shoots himself in the fucking mouth, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? And then everybody else too in the room, they're like, oh, is this fake?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, he just.
Yeah, because Nicholas Holt
this is part of the show.
Sitting there eating his fucking dinner.
This is part of the show. But everybody around you, as the movie goes on, you realize you're like, oh, these motherfuckers should burn. They're all assholes.
The other really funny part is when they're chasing all the dudes, and what's his name? The one that was with the critic hides in the chicken coop.
Yeah, and they hand him the egg,
and then he doesn't take it, and they go. That movie's fucking hilarious. That movie's fucking hilarious to me.
No, it's not.
When John Leguizamo gets brought back in, did you make it? Oh, well, I made it pretty far. I think I was the last one to get caught, but yeah, I mean, no, I didn't make it.
I saw Calling Dr. Sunshine the one day off I had, and I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah,
but I will say,
I didn't direct the movie.
I just started it.
For people out there like me, that movie was not very scary, but it was intense AF.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just like whoa.
Yeah, but Anya Taylor-Joy and Ray Fiennes just kill it in that movie. They're so good.
Yeah.
Everybody in that movie's good.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway,
this
is not a The Menu podcast. I just had to bring that up because I'm like, fuck you, Netflix. You fucked me. And I kept saying that to JB, and she's just laughing. I think I made it a comedy for her because I'm like, what's funny about that? He just fucking killed himself with a fucking gun.
What's funny about that? They just cut off that dude's ring finger.
I was not ready for this.
But no, when we went to Comic-Con, I saw people dressed up like the dessert. There was a person with the little chocolate cap on and the marshmallow thing.
Oh yeah.
I love that how they have their little caps on.
Yeah, they made self s'mores.
I love the old lady. She whenever he's letting her go and she like looks back and
he's like,
it's
just go, just go.
Well, and this shit just starts melting.
Oh yeah, and I love those. They're just like, thank you, chef. That movie rips, dude.
Yeah, it was good. It was good, but fuck you, Netflix.
Not a comedy.
Go straight to hell, Netflix.
I don't know. I'm sitting there laughing about the fucking thing after thinking about it.
I'm laughing at Kendall's pain.
I lost sleep. It's okay. Fuck you.
Welcome to this week's episode of Kendall Hates Horror. I'm your host, Grant. I'm sitting across the table from our horror aficionado and internet nightmare, Evan.
Man,
Man.
like Slender Man, like creepypasta.
No, like a terror, you know.
Oh, like a terror.
Like a shit poster?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And sitting over here right next to me, what are you doing cheeked up on a Wednesday night, Kendall?
I'm just wondering why iPhone chargers are not called apple juice.
Wow.
You liked that.
Did Jazzy tell you that one?
I seen
Man,
Yeah.
I hope you weren't working on that one for a while.
It took me all day to come up with that.
I was sitting there.
I tried to get some computer jokes because of what we got coming.
Yeah. Fucking. All right. Bravo. I get it now. Yeah. Let's clap like they do in the menu.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
No. It was really good.
No, the movie was good.
I didn't put two and two together that you did that for the movie that's upcoming.
Another funny part is when he does that for the second time, and she's like, "Is he going to do that
Yeah,
every
all
time?"
night.
Sorry, fuck you guys. That movie.
I love that. I like that movie.
No, that movie is fucking hilarious.
I like that movie. But yeah,
If you knew it was a horror movie going in.
I knew it was a horror movie going in.
didn't.
So yeah,
I didn't. I was like,
I
oh,
was sitting there thinking about that. It's like, fuck you guys. That movie's like the funniest movie I've ever seen in
it's a
like,
comedy. No, it ain't.
They said dark comedy.
well, Netflix.
No,
didn't.
it didn't.
Oh,
It
It just said comedy.
comedy.
Yeah, if you look on if you look
stupid.
on IMDb or Just Watch, it says dark comedy. But if you go on Netflix, it just says comedy.
It's just comedy.
I'll tell you what.
Like it's there next to Step Brothers.
I watched the movie on a night. 2 nights later, I went back to see if they fucking fixed it. No, it still says comedy.
Yeah.
Jesus. Get the fuck out of here.
What are you gonna do?
All right, Evan. What movie are we here to talk about tonight?
Oh, we're delving into the found footage phenomenon.
Technically,
it's a weird found footage movie.
Yeah.
We're doing 2014's Unfriended.
yeah.
I fucking love this movie.
I watched this movie for the first time a few months ago because Evan was like, "Oh, you've never seen this? Let's watch this." It was in hindsight. So we watched this and It Follows in the same night, and then we watched this one first. And I thought this movie was so cool. And then we watched It Follows, and I was like, "Man, why did we watch those in the reverse order? That way I could have because It Follows just ruined my whole fucking night." Yeah, I just thought this movie was like super cool.
They describe this movie as a screen life movie.
I guess
because it's supposed to be. It's like a screen capture of like a MacBook.
Yeah, it's
basically.
specifically the screen capture from the main character
from Blair's point of view.
point,
And it was directed by Leo Gabarizzi.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it's
Antonio Margaretti.
On a budget of $1 million, and this movie made $62.9 million.
Is that
Which
the
is-
most we've heard of so far?
Like the biggest like profit.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's
It's either that or
huge.
like Halloween would be the most.
Yeah, I mean, we did talk about Night of the Living Dead, and adjusted for inflation,
Yeah, that's
over
true.
is like $300 million.
Yeah.
on a budget of like 40 or 20, I guess 20.
20 million?
Yeah, well, adjusted for inflation. Adjusted for inflation, like
I mean, I would say like Halloween, because Halloween still was for the longest time, it was the most successful independent movie ever made.
Mm-hmm.
This was an independent movie too.
Yeah, but
It was picked up by
I don't know.
Universal.
You'd have to adjust it by inflation and stuff like that. Whether or not it was because it was distributed because it was picked up by Universal, but it was also picked up by Blumhouse. It was picked up by a bunch of different production companies. So they probably threw a lot of that money probably came from them as well for marketing. Because I remember when this movie came out, you'd see.
I don't remember seeing any marketing for this movie when it was.
I remember because I was like, I'm not going to see that movie. That movie looks dumb. And then I finally watched it. Like probably a couple years ago.
And the movie fucking ruled.
And I was like, oh, this movie's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like this movie's fucking really good. Because I kept hearing people would be like, oh, I'm a defender of this movie. I'm like, okay, well, I got to see it because some of those people that said those, I respect their opinions. And so I was like, oh, well, I have to watch this movie. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I remember watching this movie thinking, how awesome all of the performances were, because they were in rooms alone and with nobody else there, and they still had to like act their ass off without having a direct like face-to-face conversation with people. Right. So I thought that was super cool, and it's really hard to tell where the editing cuts are.
Yeah, because production for this movie was like 16 days total.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
It was like six 12-hour days, blah blah blah. But they wanted to do these long takes of each of the actors, and I can't remember what's her name, Shelley Hennig, that played Blair. She was like kind of like iffy about that. So one of her takes, which is for the end of the movie, is like an 80-minute long take that's her and all of the actors all together, and that's what you kind of get for the end of the movie. It's edited a little bit, but they did like and just filmed them for 120 minutes or like an hour and 20 minutes, just nonstop. And she felt that they were able to get all the performances that they were able to get because it felt real.
Yeah, because it was all kind of happening in real time.
Yeah,
kind
exactly.
of thing. Yeah,
damn.
Just pretty fucking cool. I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
But tell us about the cast.
Well, I mean, it's fucking nobody ever heard of.
Exactly. Well, we should hear about them now. Like, you know, they were virtually unknown. Like, was it? You said that some dude was in Teen Wolf.
Shelley Hennig was in Teen Wolf.
Shelley Hennig was in Teen Wolf. Yeah.
And you had like Moses Storm, who played Mitch. Renee Olstead, who played Jess. You had Will Peltz. That sounds like a familiar name. Maybe nope, never heard of that guy.
Well, we have now.
And then Jacob Wasaki, that played Ken, who's my favorite character in this movie. He fucking rules. But yeah, none of them have really done much of anything. With the I think the guy who played Mitch, I saw that was in the new Arrested Development.
Which I'm not a huge fan of Arrested Development, so I mean,
boo.
Yeah, I know, that's fine.
the new one was fine. I'm more of a fan of the old Arrested Development, but yeah, I've literally never seen this dude before. Yeah. I've never seen any of these people in anything. I don't watch Teen Wolf. No. To be real, I've seen Teen Wolf. Like
the Michael J. Fox
production, with his buddy Styles. Yeah, where he's surfing on the fucking van.
Yeah, doing flips.
Yeah, playing basketball and shit like that. Yeah, I've seen that Teen Wolf, but yeah, and I think this movie is pretty ingenious the way it's constructed, the kind of the themes that it's trying to hit on, like when it comes to like cyberbullying. And just like technology and stuff like that. A lot of really cool stuff they do in this movie. Using like things like filming it on like a computer screen, doing a screen capture. I think it's fucking really cool. I think it's really neat to watch this on like a computer or a laptop
because it feels real.
Because it feels so fucking real.
Yeah.
We're obviously not watching it on a computer or a laptop, but. No. I think when we were watching it on your computer, it feels so different than when you're watching it on TV.
Yeah. Well, because, do you have...
Kindles, bun, back.
It every time makes me
now
laugh.
Batting Mike Piazza.
Hey, Grant.
Hey, Kendall.
You should... You should name your hard drive that ass. So once a month, your computer can ask if you want to back that ass up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kendall has brought the jokes tonight.
Jesus wept.
Somebody once said, I heard somebody say, Jesus Hoobastank Christ.
Jesus Hoobastank Christ.
And it's lived room for it, and it's now my new thing. I used to say Jesus Hitler Christ, and now I say Jesus Hoobastank Christ. Well, because, H is his middle name, and why wouldn't we know what it is unless it's Hitler?
Okay, back to the fun fact. This movie, and I think you touched on this, was filmed all in one house where each cast member was in a different room.
Yep.
This movie's Skype and Facebook is real and can be found on those platforms.
Yeah. What's really neat about the fact that it was filmed in one house is they decorated each one of those rooms
It's completely different.
to fit the characters, which is so fucking cool.
Yeah, because Blair's room is a very teenage girl room.
Whereas like Jess is an uber teenage girl.
An uber teenage girl, and Adams is very like posh.
Yeah,
Looks
he's like fucking rich.
He's got there's a mantle behind him. You'll see in the movie.
Yeah, and then like Ken's got the fucking
It's fucking trashed.
trashed everywhere because
Yeah.
all he does is smoke weed all the time, and shit like that. Yeah, that's fucking cool. I didn't know that it was filmed all in the same house.
All in the same house.
That's cool.
The sensory aspects of this movie, which are music, dialogue, all that, all tie back into Blair's computer screen.
Yep.
Which I don't understand, but I guess I will find that out.
So the soundtrack is basically all music that she's playing on her.
Yeah, she has a playlist going, and it's really neat the way they use that. I really like it. We were just talking about that the other day. Yeah. I really
And
like
you touched on this one. If you pay attention to Blair's desktop, she has Jezebel, Forever 21, and MTV's Teen Wolf open. The tabs are open.
Yeah. She has a million tabs open, like every teenager. Every teenager.
Which is funny because the girl who plays Blair plays in Teen Wolf.
I never noticed the Teen Wolf aspect.
I saw the Jezebel thing. But,
but
she has like all the different tabs open, like that's
'cause that comes into play like when they're doing stuff in the movie and stuff like that. I'm like, God, close those tabs.
Yeah, somebody close those fucking tabs.
There is additional footage that could be used, recut this into a comedy.
Really?
Yeah.
Like an actual comedy or like a menu comedy?
Yeah, well, like not a fucking Netflix comedy, but maybe an actual comedy.
So okay,
Fuck me.
fucking Netflix.
The director of this movie has said that he wanted to shoot this movie kind of like a play, where it's just start to finish, and maybe there's some like cuts or whatever, but it's basically just one.
The movie looks like it's happening in real time throughout the whole movie. It's really hard to tell where the cuts are.
Like a play.
Yeah,
that's what Stuart Gordon that directed Reanimator. That's how he directs all of his movies. It's because that's what he did. He did like off. He did like plays and like theater stuff. That's why he got Jeffrey Combs, because Jeffrey Combs
is a theater guy,
and that's why him and Barbara Crampton loved working with him, because that was their style, and that's what he always did. Was he filmed movies from start to finish just like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is more of a question. So is this movie shot in one take?
No.
Okay, so there is edits and things.
Yes,
there are edits, but it's a neat movie because it's shot in real time. It's like an episode of 24.
Yeah,
like.
So this
like there's no cuts to like different locations or anything like that. It's all like the movie world exists in the same 83 minutes that you're gonna watch in real time.
But it all takes place on Blair's computer screen.
From her perspective.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm shaking in my boots. This movie is based on the tragic story of Amanda Todd.
Yep.
And countless other tragic cyberbullying stories.
Yeah. And this is something. This was, we talked about this just a minute ago. This movie came out in 2014. It was filmed in 2013. And cyberbullying really this was right around the time cyberbullying started to like become like people were starting to be aware of it. Some people were, you'd had some little cyberbullying back from the days of MySpace, and kids, if you don't know what that is, you're too young to be listening to the podcast.
Yeah, because that stuff kind of started in the late noughties.
Yeah,
then went into the 2010s.
Yeah, it didn't really become like a mainstream hot button issue until that doesn't technically not technically cyberbullying, but the Michelle Taylor, where she had her boyfriend Conrad kill himself.
There was also that, and there was also that Netflix documentary about it was like about two girls. One of them committed suicide, and then it kind of affected another girl as well. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like because it took place in California, and one took place in like Michigan and stuff like that. Yeah. And that was running rampant in that era.
But
like
the Michelle Taylor, she talked her boyfriend into killing him.
yes,
And in fact, what got her actually convicted was one of the last texts she sent him because he'd already gotten out of the truck, and she said, Get back in the truck. Yeah, so he did, and he completed.
So she told him to do it.
Yep.
According to Reddit, Unfriended is not considered extremely scary. It has some scary elements.
I think it builds
It
really
builds.
well.
I've been told it has some jump scares. I've read that it didn't have very many.
I think it has.
I've been told
4 or
this is
5.
a scary as fuck movie by some. I read that it wasn't very scary. I'm really fucked up right now.
Because you can't get a straight answer.
Because I can't get a straight answer, so I'm going into this.
Maybe we should ask Netflix.
Free balling. We're not gonna ask Netflix.
Netflix is going to tell you this is a comedy.
I'm very upset with Netflix.
Yeah.
There are some fantastic kills in this movie.
Yeah.
I will say that. The kills in this movie fucking rule.
There's one that I can't watch.
Yeah.
An eyeball one. All right. Okay, I got one.
One of my favorite kills, like I would probably put it's like in my top 10 is in this movie.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't mean it's scary. It's just I like it a lot. I think it's neat.
It's funny that there are 2 movies that came out within 2 years that have kind of have the same kind of kill.
Oh yeah, because
it was in Your Next also.
Yeah, that would have been.
You're talking about the.
Yeah. We're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite kills. I fucking love that kill. But there's a lot of good ones in this movie, and it builds tension a lot. And it's once this movie gets going, it's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, it really once it really starts going, it doesn't stop.
It's like fucking Jesus.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. But you'll know when it gets going.
Yeah.
Tell
you what, we'll warn you.
Yeah,
we'll warn you. We'll ask. We'll ask you.
You don't have to. I'm a fucking man. I can do this.
I'm a grown up.
We'll tell. Hey,
I have children.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you when to laugh.
No, this is a comedy.
Come on,
it's funnier than.
Come on, Kendall. This is a comedy.
This man just fucking died.
Yeah.
It's
funny.
Well,
there's like, I mean,
there are a couple laughs in this movie, just a little bit.
There are a couple.
And like at the beginning, it quickly turns serious.
Yeah, there are a couple of parts in this movie that make me chuckle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're a computer whiz.
No.
Are you a computer whiz? Because you just turned my hardware or software into hardware.
Your floppy disk into into a hard drive.
I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
I love the computer jokes.
It's because you don't understand them, right?
Nah, probably not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me to explain hardware or software to you. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I can.
You could.
Yeah, I can tell you certain things.
Like
I'm not as smart as I used to be because I stopped keeping up with it.
In the computer.
And software?
And software is stuff you get for the computer outside of the computer.
When you say hardware to me, I think of the hardware store where I go get screws and nuts and bolts. And so, I do not think of a computer when someone says hardware to me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any more fun facts?
That's it.
That's it. No, not as much fun as the menu.
No, they had different titles for this movie. There was like fucking Offline and some other bullshit.
Yeah,
Unfriended is the best.
Yeah, it's the best title.
Movie.
Yeah,
I didn't even want to put that one in there because
apparently they came up with that name after it was getting released. They were like, "Oh yeah, that's the way better name."
Well, and she literally unfriends someone in the movie. So she puts the title of the movie in the movie.
Yeah, she literally like unfriend you.
Yeah. So we're ready to go check it out. Yeah. I would like to point out that this would be the point where he would crack the beer. But,
he already did that.
But he already did that on accident, and he realized.
No, it wasn't on accident.
Yeah, well, he did it on purpose, but he was like, "Damn it! I brought this beer down just to crack it on the mic, and I fucked it up. Damn." All right.
But I'm halfway, or I'm most of the way through it already, so I'm even more ready to fucking watch this movie.
Fantastic. All right. So this is the part of the podcast where you will pause it, go watch the movie, and come back and join us. If you've already seen the movie and just want to get to the spoiler version, go ahead and just hang out past the music, and we'll see you then.
Fuck.
And we're back. And Kendall has now seen Unfriended. Seems like so long ago that we watched this movie.
Yeah.
A lot of important things happen in this movie. Yeah.
Like what?
Well, it's definitely, the movie's definitely like a cautionary tale when it comes to talking about like cyberbullying and stuff like that. So, you know, it's another one of those movies that you like that has
a lot to say.
Has a message.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this movie came out, you know, roughly, you know, like 2014. So it had a, you know, it's kind of in that area where we really started paying attention to like cyberbullying, and, you know, when people, you know, people started realizing that, hey, I can say shit on the internet in what I think is an anonymous forum, and really what I'm doing is affecting real people with real emotions and real feelings and stuff. So.
Yeah, it really drove that home.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that you said something about like you were like the opening scene really was one of the most impactful scenes. In the first like less than 5 minutes of the movie, they showed the video of her her friend Laura killing herself in a school parking school playground.
You don't think about, I mean, especially if you're online by yourself and you're sitting there typing shit up, and it just kind of takes that personal, you know, but you are still putting it out there to where people can see it, and it's like it's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say. God damn it.
When you're sitting in front of a computer, you are more apt to say things that you wouldn't say to someone to their face, and that's where people, you know, get this whole idea of like anonymous cyberbullying and stuff like that.
Personally, I would have done it on the merry-go-round.
What, the bullying or the pew-pewing in the face?
The pew-pew.
Okay, so see if it would go around again. Yeah. Okay.
To see if the merry-go-round would go again.
As it creaks.
You've put some thought into this.
I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, like I was saying, is at least you didn't do it on any of the equipment.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine that? Like, you sat in the swing set, it's like, oh no,
I
got Laura on me.
Yeah. Fucked up.
It's like stepping in dog shit. It's like, oh
my god! You just compared this poor girl to dog shit.
Not her. They're her insides. I mean, it's the same consistency.
Way different smell.
Yeah. In case you have not guessed it, Evan is not a doctor.
I just play one on TV.
Yeah.
He did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Wow, I completely forgot those commercials existed.
I'm Tom Bodat with Motel 6.
We'll leave
the light on for you.
So I'm reluctant to ask you, you know, what other scenes kind of hit hard for you, because it's kind of hard to remember.
It's a difficult movie to kind of like purse through.
I mean, the girl that drank the bleach. I mean, you kind of had to figure that one out on your own. So it was.
I think that's the point, though, is because they're building up. Because at that point, you could think that it was like either she unalived herself or
she had the seizure, like everyone was. Yeah,
thinking. So it's kind of ambiguous. Whereas, like, you don't really get into like, oh, shit's going down until Billy starts talking to the rest of our characters.
Yeah,
when you're like, oh shit, this thing is like killing, and that's like the first person it killed was Val.
They don't really get the idea that, like, so Val, they were like, oh, well, you know, she could have killed herself, but it also could just be a seizure. You don't get your first, like, glimpse that this is, like, a vengeful spirit or a ghost until Ken's kill. When they all see it, like, live on camera.
Yeah, because it's like fucking
Which
with them.
was a cool fucking kill.
That is, yeah. That's probably kill of the movie for me, honestly. By leaps and bounds.
By far, for me.
I did like the nice touch that when Adam turned the gun on himself, he literally turned it on himself the same way Laura did, like with her arm stretched out and pointing at her face.
Yeah.
Instead of doing what, you know, everyone else you would do, which is put it to your head.
Yeah, they even when before like the Ken kill, it's kind of like it's basically like, oh, this person's just like harassing them.
Yeah.
You know, like and then it is until that happens where you're like, where as an audience you're like, oh, this is like a ghost.
Yeah. Things got real. Yeah. So I did like the fact that they foreshadowed everyone's demise as the movie goes on. Like, you know, at the beginning of the movie, Mitch is playing with the knife, and I just have to ask, like, okay, so the attempted cyber sex session is really cringy at the beginning, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Okay. He's got a knife. He's threatening her, everything. And she's like, he's so adorable. How is that adorable?
Yeah, I don't think that in any situation would that be like there would be so much more conversation about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, it's just knife.
That would have to be an established kink for it to be adorable.
Oh, maybe it is.
Well, I mean, they've never.
But we don't.
boned.
Yeah, but we don't know what they talked about before.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe that's what they're into.
There's a
Because
little out of
knife play is
context.
a thing. That's a kink.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of plays, and I'm not saying that
we're not yucking any yums.
correct. There it is. Yeah.
As long as it's consensual and everything's above board, then
But at least it was.
But it's
even
not
if
adorable.
It wasn't consensual. It was done over a computer. So
yeah. But she also
if
was.
she didn't like it, she could just be like, "Okay, I'm gonna fucking
Exactly.
turn my shit off."
Yeah, exactly. So, and she was into it, so fuck it. You know, like it's not that big a deal.
But why?
Maybe she does think it's adorable.
But how is it adorable?
I don't know. Maybe I'm not inside her mind, so
it's weird.
I don't know.
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird to other
can't
people,
relate.
but maybe it's
Can't
not to
relate.
Can't relate. Yeah, never had a knife pulled on me during tax season. So the knife is the first thing you see, and then Jess comes on. She's straightening her hair, and Ken's making
her.
salsa.
Every murder weapon is
presented by the people.
Presented by the people, even Blair's to an extent, because
It's-
the first thing we see is her computer.
Right.
And to be fair, that's the last shot we see is her closing her computer. It's her leaving her virtual world and going back to reality.
Yeah, this is going to be jumping way ahead in the movie, but I have to ask this. The question that I had was, why did the ghost kill her at the end? To me, the more punishment that ghost could inflict on someone, the better. And everything the ghost had done up until that point has shown the world that Blair is a terrible person. And now Blair is going to have to live with the fact that not only does she know she's a terrible person, that everybody else knows. To me, if I was the ghost, I'm not a ghost,
You'd have left her living.
I would have left her living, because that is worse than death.
Pretty much. I mean, it just destroyed her, really.
Yeah.
So, it was not like advantageous for the ghost to kill her. It would, like, the ghost would have.
It would have been more painful for
It would've-
Blair to
yeah.
live through that,
Right.
through all that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but when you're like in revenge mode, you don't really.
Yeah, I guess.
Thinking about stuff like that.
That's why I don't believe in the death penalty.
Oh, speaking of which, did you hear that today? Did you hear about that today?
Yes, I did.
Tell Evan about that.
How that dude got killed by firing squad today
In South Carolina.
in South Carolina. He had a choice to do the lethal injection.
No, he couldn't do the lethal injection.
He didn't want. He could have. It was between
Might
the
as well
lethal
just
injection,
Do lethal injection. That's
electric chair,
fuck that.
Or firing squad.
or firing squad.
I
He
would-
chose firing squad
He
because
chose. Yeah.
because like it's been proven that there's people that get the lethal injection and they sit there and suffer for like 20 minutes.
Whereas the firing squad is actually fairly quick because they literally sit him down on a chair and put a hood over him and then put a target, like a doctor determines where his heart is, and put a target right over it. And they have 3 guys with guns that have special bullets that are designed to explode when they hit. Like, so it just literally just tore his heart through his back.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that the ghost, if she wanted to really punish Blair for what she was doing, because literally the ghost did to Blair what Blair did to her, like outing her and making her embarrassed, and now she's, the comments that were popping up under that video was like, "Oh my God, Blair, you killed her," blah 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 blah. So, just we're having a movie that like wags the finger at cyberbullying, and then they start posting things about like you should kill yourself, and like nobody learns a lesson in this movie. Yeah, so but yeah, going back to the the Ken gets his death foreshadowed because he's making salsa in his room for whatever reason. Yeah,
well, he's just kind of like, that's part of his character.
Yeah. Was Ken a hoarder?
No, he's just a messy stoner.
He's just a messy. Well, because he had a bunch of stuff in his room.
It wasn't a hoarding situation. Like you've seen the show Hoarders.
I fucking love that show.
I do too.
I love that shit.
I'm entertained by it. I
find it
bad
fascinating.
For yes.
Yeah.
It's the same reason I listen to like true crime.
Yeah.
I don't understand why I do, but I like Hoarders because it's like, Anyway.
I watch Hoarders to motivate myself to clean. Because I'm like, I gotta clean some shit. I gotta throw some shit away.
Yeah. But he I think he's a relatable character. I mean, we've all been at that stage in our life where we're just a stoner, fucking don't give a shit about anything, make salsa in our fucking room type person.
No.
You never did that?
No.
Man, we had a room in our apartment, like, where we would just go in there and, like, we had a 2-bedroom apartment.
I'm assuming this is pre-Jamie, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There was 3 guys living there. We had 2 beds, 2 queen-size beds pushed together.
I've done that.
We just had a big sleeping mat.
Mm-hmm.
And the other room was called the lounge, and we would just go in there and fuck off and do weird shit. So I can totally relate with his character. And he's
like an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah. So he was just messy. He wasn't a whore,
Yeah.
but he I don't know. He was kind of an asshole too. So.
He's my favorite character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in the movie, yes, but if you had to hang out with him, I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Depends on how hot. I don't know. He'd probably say some stuff like, that's fucked up.
Oh yeah, he would say some shit that you're like, okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
We were talking about it, like these people literally cyberbullied someone to death, and you would think that in the year from Laura's passing that there would have been a lesson learned, like maybe we shouldn't be, but then they literally are being terrible to each other. Like Ken is talking shit on Val, and the first thing that Jess says to Val is, they call her a dumb slut and a dumb bitch, and
I
you
think
fucking
that's
floozy. And it's like you guys didn't learn a damn thing.
Well, no, I
with
think
Laura's
that's
death.
the point of their characters is they didn't.
They just don't learn.
They don't care really about it.
Yeah.
Like I think Blair does to an extent because it affects her. Like because they say that at the beginning she's like searching through all this stuff and. She's looking at Laura's stuff and stuff like that. So she feels like remorse about it. And I think to an extent Mitch does too. But the others don't really give a fuck.
No.
Like at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
Ken even said his name's Ken, right? The big guy.
Yeah.
He said he was like, well, she deserved it.
Laura was not a good person. She deserved what she got.
She deserved what she got.
Yeah.
And then he fucking laughs about it and shit. And
Well, it was just when Laura was they showed Ken like sent a video where Laura did something on YouTube where she's doing that dramatic thing with the music and it's in black and white and she's doing the paperclip thing and talking about people talking bad about her behind her back. And I noticed that if you look down at the date on that video, it was 2 days before she killed herself. So that was after the video had gone out and people were already starting to cyberbully her. So that was her response. And then people continued to pile on, and that's eventually why she killed herself.
There's another thing that kids do that is in this movie too, where like if you get together, like if we're sitting here talking, I might say something that I don't really believe just to be funny.
Mm. Like the fact that I want to put your penis in my mouth?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not actually going to do it, nor do I even believe in the action.
Right.
But it's funny.
Yeah. Right.
And so I'm going to say it.
I say that I do that shit all the time.
Well, I'm trying to act less that way. Evan, I'm going to put your dick right in my mouth when we're done with this.
Yeah.
But, but like I've...
You better pack a lunch.
Are you slinging weight?
Yeah. I hope you got 2 snack packs in that lunch.
If not, he's got a couple for you too.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll have plenty.
Yeah.
To eat.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Snack packs, you're the coolest.
I'm the glutton now.
Yeah.
Now it works. But when you get into like a group of your friends and you're just trying to be that guy, I guess, and you're saying shit like that's kind of what Ken did. I don't think he actually believed, she got what she deserved and all that shit. I don't really think, because we've all said shit that's like the shock factor.
I think he was trying to get.
He was just trying to get like he came off as that's what he was saying, but he didn't really believe that. He just wanted to be like that guy.
I think there's a moment where you can see that in his face where he's like, he says it, he gets
He
a
knew
laugh,
it
he
was
gets a
fucked
laugh,
up.
and then
he's like,
he just kind of like goes like he like leans back and he's just like, man, I can't believe I fucking said that.
Yeah.
But it was funny. So
but it's funny, so we're gonna say it.
Whatever.
But when you get in a group of your friends, especially in high school,
yeah,
and that's the tragedy of this too, is none of these people know exactly the weight of anything really.
Well, there's no like repercussions for any of them.
There's no consequence. I mean, that's kind of the message of the movie is that there are consequences to this shit, but when you're in high school, you just don't fucking understand that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Well, I have a feeling that like the reason. Well, I mean, because like the whole reasoning that they're all there is like Val is getting punished for basically being
the text message she sent to Laura.
the DM she sent on Instagram, which is like kill yourself.
Yeah.
And then like Mitch is getting punished for posting the video.
Yeah.
Blair is getting punished for filming the video. Whereas Adam is getting punished because he wasn't playing by the rules. Ken was getting punished because of what he said. And then also Jess is getting punished because she isn't playing by the rules. So like you can
no, Jess is getting punished because she desecrated Laura's grave.
But like Adam and Ken, they don't really specify what they did.
What they did was, and Laura sent screenshots of all of the people that were posting, after the video came out of Laura shitting herself. People were posting like, "Oh my God, you're so done. You should kill yourself." Blah 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 blah. It was this group of friends that were all posting on fake profiles and stuff.
It's all kind of a betrayal story because these are people that actually claim to be her friend,
right? Especially Blair.
And then they fucked her over in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
I mean, for a high school kid, you got shit all over you and you're all fucked up, and then you think it's funny to.
Yeah,
put that out there for everybody to see.
Yeah, kids, if you shit yourself, it's not that serious.
No,
so the gentleman at this table, raise your hand if you shit yourself.
Yeah,
that's everybody.
Way more times than I'd care to admit. But
sometimes you just get sick. Sometimes you get too drunk.
Sometimes you trust a fart.
Sometimes you trust, especially if you're after post 30.
Yeah, eat a bag of grapes and then trust a fart.
Yeah,
it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, so. Kids, if you shit yourself and someone posts a video of it, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, or if you are the guy that ends up with the video of you that shit yourself, it's like just make a joke out of it or something. Like, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, if you have a video of somebody like that, just keep it amongst friends.
But for a girl, I guess that would be probably more traumatic. If somebody posted a video of me shitting myself, I'd be like, oh, I was fucked up, you know. But for a girl in that stage in her life, I could see where that would.
How does a ghost plant a webcam to spy on kin?
Well,
Ghost shit.
so maybe we'll find that out in the sequel. Maybe she's not actually a ghost.
No,
Maybe
there's-
she survived
I'm
the
gonna be real with
suicide attempt, and she's just creeping around. And
Yeah, that's not the plot of the sequel.
you. Yeah, the plot of the sequel doesn't even follow this at all.
Yeah.
I'm trying, dude.
It follows a bunch of hackers.
Yeah, it's I haven't seen it. I heard it's not great. I'm not.
Oh no, I like it because it's so much different than. I mean, it has the same premise,
Uh-huh.
but the story's completely different, and like a lot of the kills pertain to like a hacker. Like one dude gets swatted, which is I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
But it's definitely got a different feel. It's all like filmed on whatever the fucking hacker OS is, whatever they
Linux
use.
is usually what they use.
Yeah. So it's all like the black screen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's pretty neat.
Okay.
But it's called an Unfriended Dark Web.
I might check it out at some point.
Yeah.
I got time.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Oh yeah, it's out already, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it came out in like 2018.
Yeah. This movie's 11 years old.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here acting like that hadn't even happened. No, the fucking movie's out. People probably.
Oh yeah,
haven't seen
that
it.
movie came out like 7 years ago.
So disregarded.
Yeah. But no, the sequel doesn't pertain to this movie whatsoever. It's just they made a sequel because that movie made money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It made like a lot of money.
Well, it was a good movie, rightfully so. I mean,
Yeah, it was
had a good message.
very 50-50. A lot of people didn't like it. Too.
Yeah.
I don't understand that the creativity behind it and how they did it is fucking phenomenal.
A lot of people don't like the ending. They think.
I mean
that a lot of people don't like the cheap jump scare at the end.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like the way like Laura just looks like a person.
Yeah.
And there was nothing creative about it. It's kind of like I love Paranormal Activity, but I fucking hate that last shot of Katie becoming like a demon, like going. Rrr. You know, the other endings for Paranormal Activity are like actually kind of neat, like the ones that before Steven Spielberg's like, nah, we gotta change that so there can be a sequel.
Yeah. They were so the Never Have I Ever game. I gotta ask, are these people even friends?
Well, some of that
they should have known all that beforehand.
Yeah,
some of that stuff is pretty like
it was pretty deep,
and like one of them was like literally Jess spreading a rumor about Blair.
Yeah,
and she wouldn't have known that at all.
Yeah.
She would have been like, "What the fuck, dude?"
That's true, and I mean.
And
a
then,
lot lot of it, some of the characters knew, but the other ones didn't.
But like Adam, like Mitch,
pointing out Adam for
selling drugs and stuff like that, and he's like, dude, my dad almost disowned me and shit like that, and he was like, well, it's either gonna be both
you
of us or
one of us.
You would have done the same thing. He's like, no, I fucking wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, it's like some of that shit is like, and that's pretty like,
and like Mitch knew that Adam had roofied somebody else and forced him to admit to it on camera. Like, you knew that he roofied someone and you didn't do anything until this moment when everybody's about to die. Why are you friends with him? Like,
the way that Laura, the ghost, forces everybody to reveal how shitty of a person they are is and it just shows like what we were talking about earlier, like how these high school kids have no concept of consequences.
No.
They have no fucking idea.
Well, especially Adam, because he seems like he's the rich kid, kind of. Yeah, so he definitely feels like he has lived his entire life without consequences, and when he got dimed out for selling drugs, like that was the closest thing he ever experienced to consequences, like real consequences.
Yeah.
So,
and he was totally pissed off about it.
He was super pissed off about it. And but like here,
never had that ass spanked.
No. So we had the fake chat roulette. I made a comment, not enough dicks on it. Like
there was one.
There was one.
I appreciated the fact that they
threw one.
They made reference to it where she's like, "Oh God,
oh God."
Yeah, like I did like that.
Yeah. Have you ever been on chat roulette,
No.
Omegle, or anything like that?
No.
You've never experienced the glory that is 50% just cock shots?
Oh yeah, because you're sitting there like
Nah.
skip, Jesus, skip,
Skip, Jesus.
fuck, skip,
That happened in the
fuck.
Well, do you want to talk about what your favorite kill was? I think everyone has a same favorite kill, right?
Yeah,
movie. It was so creative.
Yeah, I mean, is it like an agreement?
Yeah, it's the Ken kill. Yeah.
He broke the blender so he could put his fucking throat down on it.
Yeah, I actually like when he has his hand in it. That's my
Yeah.
favorite portion of the kill. Even though that's not that's not when he gets killed.
Right,
but,
yeah.
But like, yeah, him, you know, like, putting his hand in it is the fucking coolest.
Yeah.
And then that cut, and then him putting it on his throat.
Yeah.
How did old girl die again? Oh yeah.
She had
No.
she had the flat line, the flat iron in her,
Yeah.
in her,
Which is very sleepaway camp. And you pointed that out. Like only
very
the other end.
We've seen it from both ends.
Yeah, we've now seen it from they could get in the middle and kith.
Thank you, horror community, for showing me how it looks on both ends.
But yeah, that's my favorite kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're in agreement on
Yeah.
that one. I mean, it was the most creative for sure.
It's the most creative, and it was also like the bloodiest.
Yeah.
The worst one for me was the Mitch kill because
I mean, that's a sweet fucking kill.
I'm sure it is. I can't watch it. So
I love that fucking kill. It's
All right, I'm going to go dark here.
Mm.
So I thought about this. I've thought about this, and I wanted to ask you guys a question.
okay.
If you were making a horror movie, what would be the best kill in your movie? How would you set that up?
I don't know. I'm not a filmmaker, so
No, but if you were,
yeah, but I'm not. I'm not that.
but you could be.
Yeah, but I'm not that creative to come up with a kill. I just be like, I don't know, someone gets stabbed. I honestly don't know. I was just watching like scenes from like Hard Eyes and some of the kills.
You can't think of anything fucked up.
I mean, like,
Given enough time, I probably could.
Given enough time, but like most things I've seen, who was the MVP?
I don't like any of these people. I'm not dignifying any of them with an MVP.
Oh, I am.
Laura.
That's fair.
Laura's the MVP.
That's fair because she's, you know,
because if you were treated that way and you got to that hole to where you had to make that ultimate decision and then you got the opportunity to come back and haunt these motherfuckers.
fuck it.
She took the opportunity.
Yeah, that's
Laura's
fair.
my MVP.
That's fair.
Okay, I'll give mine to Bruiser, the dog.
Okay, I'm giving mine to Ken. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you guys. He's so funny. He's fucking funny. The only other person I would give my MVP to is the chat roulette girl.
The one who called
The one who
cops.
calls the cops. Yeah. She's a real hero.
Yeah.
But Ken, because he's funny.
Well, you give it to the dick on chat roulette.
No.
Okay, nah. Not really.
I'll give it to the dick on chat roulette.
No, I'll give it to the dick, but it's in another category.
Who's your LVP?
It could be
All of
so
them.
many.
All of them. Every one of them.
Who do you think is the worst person in this scenario?
Oh, definitely fucking the main character. What's her name?
Blair?
Blair.
Yeah, she's definitely. She's
Blair.
the worst.
Blair was the ultimate betrayal
She is.
of Laura.
Because the other ones weren't like as
They
good
weren't
of
as
friends.
close. She's known fucking Laura since they were kids.
She says that to Mitch. She's
You don't know her like I do.
You don't know her like I do, and they're like, whatever.
She admits it.
Yeah.
And she's the one who was
That's
like took
rough.
the fucking video.
Yeah,
dude.
I did notice
She's-
that when she was trying to report the account as being hacked and that she was trying to memorialize it, it changed to "I got her," which is what Blair says at the very end of that movie. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Blair's is the LVP for sure.
I think the worst person in this group of friends is probably Adam.
Yeah.
Well,
He did a lot of fucked up shit. Like he roofied a girl, he forced her to get an abortion, he fucked his best friend's girlfriend.
But if we're thinking about the situation, like why the movie is a movie.
Well, no, but LVP for me is just an overall who's the worst.
I think he's like I don't know, he's kind of an interesting character because there's like the sequence when like Mitch finds out that he's trying to be like, he's like, look, I think he feels bad that he's like, that's like his best friend, and he's like just destroyed him in this moment and stuff like that. And I think that's an interesting character trait to me.
He was also trying to justify
he was
what they did.
Yeah.
And
but
it's
as was she.
Yeah.
They were both trying to justify.
I know.
I did like the fact that she basically was like, it only lasted a second, and his first reaction was, "Oh, fuck you,"
which is exactly I was like, "Yeah, fuck you, get the fuck out of here, bro."
4 minutes at least.
Jesus Christ!
I just stuck the tip in.
Yeah. Where would you put it on your scary?
Sorry, it's the dick.
It's the dick from Omegle. That's fair. That's fair.
Scary level. Yeah. It was more interesting than scary.
Okay.
It probably, I don't know, maybe a 3.
Maybe a 3. Just because of the imagery, kind of.
Just because of the imagery and the content.
Okay.
If you have issues, I mean, it'll bring up. If you've ever been through anything like that or experienced had any kind of suicide things in your life, then it'll hit you different.
Where would we put this on the horror greatness scale?
It's probably like a 4.
Yeah,
3.
I'd say it's pretty low.
It's like
it's a good movie, but
it's
like,
fine. But it's like the lowest of like, it's like one of the lowest like found footage films.
Yeah,
it's not like an important movie whatsoever. It's like, even when it comes to found footage movies, I mean, you're gonna think of like, other ones like Blair Witch or Paranormal or like Wreck or something like that.
Yeah,
like more like ones that are way scarier, ones that are way more effective. This does something different, I think, but it still doesn't have enough of it. It has some good performances, I think.
Yeah, I think the performances are really good. Actually.
Yeah, I think Blair is really good. I think Mitch is really good.
I think Mitch goes over the top a little bit sometimes, but
he's doing like high school
macho guy.
Yeah,
thing.
like so I get it. I think Adam does a really good job with his
he is,
character.
yeah.
But I mean, but I can't really go higher than that for me personally.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
How we talked about how they had to feed off of each other's performances through a camera.
Yeah.
And that's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. It would be hard to get a vibe off of somebody or something to dump your performance in.
Yeah.
When they're you're watching off of a screen.
When they're in another room in that same house.
Yes. Real creative.
Yeah.
I really liked the creativity.
Yeah.
Yes. You have never seen a movie like this.
All right. Well, that was Unfriended. How do you feel? Do you feel like you're going to carry this one home with you?
No. No, it'll be all right. I'll be all right.
All right.
I'll get my teddy bear.
Yeah. Would you stop it with the fucking...
No, I was sitting over here like this, and I was just like... And then he flipped me off. I was doing like this. Like, it was looking at you.
Do I have to take those away, too?
I'm not making any noise.
All right. Go follow us on Twitter at KHHPod. Go follow us... Go follow us on Instagram at Kendall Hates Horror. Go follow us on TikTok at Kendall Hates Horror Podcast.
Now kiss.
For those that don't know, there are 2 little plastic skulls on the table that I put out here for decoration, and they are currently filming. They're filming the movie True Romance with these 2 fucking plastic skulls. It's like the scene with Dark Helmet playing with his dolls in his room.
Nom nom. Yeah.
They're boning.
Yeah, they're boning. There's no better way to end than that.
Yeah.
More like teeth.
Do you
They're walking hand in hand.
Do you have any final words?
Just find the person that, you've been looking for all your life.
Kendall.
I love you all.
I love you all. I will end with my traditional. If you see a Nazi, punch a Nazi. They're out there and they're trying to hide amongst you, but you can identify them with the red hats. Here's the clue for next week's movie. If you think you know what movie that we're going to do next week, leave us a comment in the YouTube comment section. Okay, here's the hint.
If you don't get that, you're kind of dumb.
It's also kind of on the nose that it's the 13th episode, so I wonder what it could be. But we're seeing if people are listening this far into the podcast. All right, join us again next week.
Yeah.
Deuces, ooses.